It is on record, Honorable Speaker, and unanswered, that this House actually voted to defeat the proposal by government to put VAT on fuel. But, Honorable Speaker, through veto powers that the President enjoys under Article 115 sub Article 4, Honorable Speaker, that was defeated because we could not raise the 2/3 majority, Honorable Speaker. And maybe we must begin to ask ourselves whether it is not time to amend that particular article of the Constitution to at least matters that touch on the people that we represent, Honorable Speaker, that the President cannot legislate. And if we are to defeat his memorandas, a simple majority should suffice, Honorable Speaker. In July of 2008, Honorable Speaker, when Honorable Kimani was in the Kibaki regime, he knows this is the time that crude oil prices were at the highest in the history of the world, at $147 per barrel. Fuel in Kenya then was at 71 to 73 shillings. Today, Honorable Speaker, the cost per barrel is only 72 shillings, $72, while fuel is at 135 shillings in Nairobi, Honorable Speaker. We need to ask ourselves, as members are asking, and that's what the committee should inquire into, why is it that IPRA is even setting margins that oil marketers should enjoy, Honorable Speaker? We must get back to an area or a regime where competitive economy and a free market economy, Honorable Speaker, is operation, Honorable Speaker. The question of fuel levy, Honorable Speaker, on road maintenance, excise duty, VAT, Honorable Speaker, we must begin asking ourselves, isn't it time the committee asks the CS to suspend the operationalization of VAT on fuel, on excise duty, and probably, Honorable Speaker, through legislation to reduce, that is for this House, Honorable Speaker, and that is why I take offense that the Honorable...
Very well. Mr. Speaker, it is true that Kenyans are really overburdened, and by the way, all of us who have some background in economics and finance know very well that the moment you touch on energy costs, then you definitely, it would have a spiral effect on the economy, and then overall cost of living would go up. And that is what actually Kenya is facing at the moment. And Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to ask, and I think you are right, Mr. Speaker, to direct this matter to the Committee on Finance and National Planning, as opposed to the Committee on Energy, because really the matters that we are going to deal with is about the pricing of the commodity, which has a lot to do with some levies and taxes that go into it. But Mr. Speaker, I would like that committee to be very careful. Many Kenyans and even the petitioners are mistaking the rise in cost of fuel and attributing it to value-added tax, which, Mr. Speaker, is just a small portion of the cost of fuel. If you look at what 8% would contribute to the overall cost of 1 liter of fuel, it's not so much, because it is 8% of the cost of petroleum products, X of or less of levies such as the petroleum development levies and excise tax and others. So, Mr. Speaker, you'll find that the 8% is just on a figure of about 50 shillings per liter or 40 shillings. Therefore, the committee must answer to why the prices of fuel has risen in the recent days, because even the VAT has been levied on fuel products or petroleum products from 2018 to date. So the recent rise is attributable to other things, and one of them is actually the depreciation of the shilling. And the depreciation of the shilling has not been causing the rise because we have been what do I call it? We have been supplementing, or rather we have been using the Petroleum Development Levy Fund, which has been like a reserve fund, to cushion consumers. And that fund has been depleted. So the question that Kenyans need to ask, and this House will resolve, is why then do we levy the development fund, again to use it in cushioning Kenyans? Why don't we then remove that levy from the cost of fuel so that the cost of fuel is brought down? So those are issues, those are the questions that we expect the committee to deal with. Let the committee not be lazy in just looking at the superficial VAT let's go deep into all the levies that go into the fuel products and see if we need all of them. Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to say that this is a matter that the committee needs to deal with urgently. Bring the report to this House. If there is supposed to be any amendment, which I suppose there will be, then we deal with it so that Kenyans are cushioned. They don't look at this House like an irresponsible people's representative House.